Okay, I thought I'd go ahead and reshoot this video. See, now the first one looked pretty bad and the sound kind of blew. So I've gone ahead and driven the pin out of the breech block. I want to show you what that looked like when you took it out. When you after you get done, I left the punch in, but you take the breech block, just gonna fall out. Now be careful here. This is the firing pin block. Put your finger on the firing pin, push up, take it out. Firing pin will just come right out the back. Goes in with these grooves up. This groove goes through, the pin that goes through holds the firing pin in place, and then this just stops it from going forward where the firing pin block engages here. It's pushed up, disengage it with the disconnector there when you pull the trigger. So that's the firing pin block. The extractor, it's machined in pretty tight tolerances. You can actually work it out, get a small screwdriver in behind it and just work it from both sides and you can get that loose, but I don't see any point in taking that apart. That leaves you a bare slide. The frame, I've taken the grip panels off here. First thing you do, push on this side of the takedown lever, turn it counterclockwise, it pulls out, continue to turn it counterclockwise and it just comes right out. Breech block, you lift up on the breech block and just come forward, it comes right out. That's the spring that goes on the takedown lever. Then you can, well, let's go this side. You can remove the decocker. Spring here, little Z bend goes through the notch. There's a retaining pin in back. Just lift up on the spring, keep your finger over it, keep tension on it. The decocker comes off and the little bushing in back just falls out. This rides on the frame and the spring holds it in place. Now on the flip side, you've got the trigger bar spring, and goes in a hole in the frame here. You just lift it loose from there, pops out. Not real difficult. It's got a small hook on each end, holds it in place. You can take the trigger pin and just push it right out. It's got two grooves in here that go underneath. When you put the locking block in, that allows you to slide the locking block all the way down. With the trigger pin out, kind of the slide lock lever just is held in by the pin. To take the trigger out, you lift up on the trigger, just push down. This will actually drop down into the mag well. Then you can lift the trigger bar and the trigger right out. Okay, now you can take loose the mainspring and hammer rod. I use a, well, had it right here. There it is. I use a 7/16 deep well socket. Last time you guys saw me use a screwdriver, that's not too safe. I actually stabbed myself in the hand doing that, being stupid. Just take on the bottom and just push up. Ease out a little bit. Trigger bar comes right loose. If you want to replace the spring with a different spring, leave it in. You can drive that pin out and then use this to ease the tension off. You can replace the spring and you can put it back together pretty much the same way. You can take next you take the relief off the sear spring. Just get a screwdriver between the frame and the spring and just, well, let me get a little bit smaller screwdriver or I can use my punch in there, just push it down and the spring will fall loose, hammer falls loose. At that point you can push out the sear spring. This holds in the disconnector here, sear spring, sear, just take the pin out, those parts will fall right out. There's the sear and here's your disconnector safety. There we go. At that point you can just push the hammer pin out with your finger. Hammer comes right out. Here there's a hammer return spring or reset spring. in this hammer block here. It rides this point right here, and it just returns the hammer to a neutral spot after you fire the round, or once it cycles. To remove the mag release, right in front, there's a little half moon. You can see it if you depress the end a little bit, push it in with a screwdriver, ease up, it'll pop loose, come right out. Be careful, these springs can go flying on you, but usually not too bad. There's a spring on the mag release, and then this little piece has a spring behind it, and it'll come out. And that's a stripped frame. Not too difficult. You can take the small punch, drive this pin out, take the trigger block out. I'm going to leave it in right now. I was going to refinish the frame. I think I'm going to wait a little bit. I screwed up everything else so on the slide, so I'll have to redo it later. Okay, had a little interruption there. But that's the frame broken down. Everything removed from it. Bare slide. I messed up on the slide. I mixed up Duracoat, and I made a mistake on the ratio of the hardener, and I'm just going to have to strip it back down. I'll media blast it. This time I'm going to go ahead and parkerize it and then shoot it, and shouldn't have any more trouble out of that. But I'll go ahead and put the thing back together later. That way you guys can see it being reassembled. I don't plan on finishing the frame right now. I might send it off and get it done. You know, with this being aluminum, I'm not too big on trying to get this finish off of it. I really don't want to ruin the frame. So that's it, and thanks for watching.